Hello again. In this tutorial, we're going to continue working with operations with complex numbers, and we're going to multiply. The instructions say multiply, write the result in the form a plus bi. Let's do example 1. For example 1, I have an imaginary number outside the parentheses, and inside the parentheses, I have a complex number. So this complex number is made up of the real part and the imaginary part, and we're multiplying by this imaginary number. So we're going to use the distributive property just like always when working with real numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first step, which is take negative 12i and multiply it by negative 1. Negative 12i times negative 1, that's going to equal positive 12i. And then I do the same and I distribute the negative 12i times 4i. So negative 12i plus times 4i will give you negative 48, because 12 times 4 is 48. And then we have I times I, and that's going to be I squared. Okay? Whenever you have I squared, remember that I represents the square root of negative 1. So if you have the square root of negative 1 squared, which is what you have when you have I squared, this whole thing will equal negative 1. Therefore, whenever you have I squared, you will not leave it expressed as I squared. You will automatically change it to negative 1. So what I did here is I rewrote I squared as negative 1. And now I simplify. Negative 48 times negative 1, that's positive 48. So you end up with 12i plus 48. And this is your final answer. Before squaring off your answer, make sure that it's written in this form. The real part in front, the imaginary part behind. So I need to rearrange these terms so that they're in the correct form. Real part in front, imaginary part behind, and this is your final answer. Let's go ahead and do example 2. For example 2, I have a complex number times a complex number. So we're going to use FOIL, just like if we had two binomials in a product. We're going to multiply 3 times 2, that gives you 6. Then we're going to take that same 3 and multiply it times 9i. That's going to give you 27i. Now that we're done with the 3, I'm going to grab negative 5i. So I'm going to grab negative 5i and I'm going to multiply it times 2. That's going to give you negative 10i. And then I take that same term again and multiply it times positive 9i. So negative 5i times positive 9i, that will give you negative 45. And again, we're multiplying I times I. You're going to get I squared. So let's go ahead and simplify this expression. Before I do anything, I'm going to change the I squared to negative 1. So I'm just going to rewrite all of the terms just the way they are, and I'm going to change that I squared to negative 1. There it is. And now I simplify negative 45 times negative 1, and you're going to get, again, I'm going to rewrite everything, and this is going to be plus 45. Okay, now I'm ready to combine like terms. I'm going to take this real part, and I'm going to add it to this real part. Numbers with numbers. 6 plus 45, that gives you 51. And then I'm going to take the imaginary parts, which is 27i minus 10 i's. That's going to give you 17i, positive, plus 17i. I check and make sure that my answer is written in the proper form. Real part in front, imaginary part in the back, and there you have your final answer. If you need more help on this, you can re-watch it. You can try them on your own and then check the answer to see if you get the same thing. The important thing is that you practice it on your own. I'll see you in the next video.